What's going on YouTube? My name's Tucker and today I want to talk about independent and corporate video game reviews. I also want to simultaneously tie in what I'm hoping to make my channel while also describing what I believe makes a video game fun. Now when I say corporate, I mean places like IGN, Games Radar, Metacritic, and when I say independent, I mean people like Donkey and Angry Joe. Now a couple things I feel like every good reviewer needs is a good sense of trends in the gaming industry, a history of the game and genre they're reviewing, and a sense of what really makes a game fun. Now by no means are these things necessary in putting out an adequate review. Some of the best reviews I've ever heard are from people who are just really passionate about a game. But these things give you a leg up when you're trying to verbalize what you love or hate about a game. So for the next 10 minutes I'm going to pretend to be a game reviewer, and hopefully I'll be able to jumble together something coherent enough to spark up a solid discussion. Now compared to reviewing something like a movie, a video game can be a lot harder. It could take from anywhere between 15 to 40 hours to finish a game in its entirety, whereas finishing a movie could take anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours. Now I don't believe you need to play a game all the way through in order to formulate an opinion surrounding it. It's easy to write off a game after about 3 hours of playing when the real game doesn't start till you get about 5 hours in. This is where a lot of those corporations have a leg up. Let's use IGN as an example. IGN can pull from a pool of 40 people, stick one person on a game, have them play it all the way through, or only halfway through, it doesn't really matter, and then have them write a review over it. The name of the game now is promptness. Being able to put out a review the same day a game drops is huge. The problem with that is what a lot of these companies have in promptness, they lose in quality. There's no way I could play a game one time, whether it's for 5 hours or all the way through, and decide whether or not I like it. I've written off games like Cuphead and the first Red Dead Redemption, playing for only 3 hours, writing them off as bullshit, and then coming back a number of weeks later to realize what I had actually been missing out on. What I'm getting at here is whether it's a 5-hour window or playing the game all the way through in a matter of days. 1 to 2 weeks isn't enough time for a game to form a lasting impression. So a game comes out, IGN pulls from their group of 40 to 50 reviewers. They say you have X amount of time to play this game, we need the review by Friday. Most of the reviews end up sounding like The reviews are generally brief and informative, and they end up scoring the game on a scale between 1 and 10. Now there are a lot of inherent flaws in this system. First off, I don't really trust the objectivity of IGN as a whole, and I most certainly don't believe that their relationships with AAA studios doesn't affect their opinion. Any studio for that matter. It is literally their job. They get paid to formulate these opinions. The second thing is, when they have this huge pool of people, they can never seem to get their opinion straight. One person says they love it, the other says they fucking hate it, and as the viewer, I'm left with my dick in my hand. The other piece of that is, when they're shuffling through various reviewers, I never know the biases of the person reviewing the game. Are you giving this game a 6.3 because you hate RPGs or looter shooters? Or is the game actually that bad? What that amounts to is a brief and informative video, yes, but it's also this convoluted mess of contradicting opinions, where I never know if the final score is skewed by biases, money, or the amount of time spent playing the game. The last piece I'll add to that is these corporate companies are exactly that. Corporate. They're hell-bent on getting out in front of popular opinion and not offending anybody. Now, independent reviews are certainly a step up from corporate. Being able to watch the same person week after week, know what they like, begin to trust them, really helps you understand why a person may love or hate a game. If their opinions are swayed by a bias, I'll likely know and understand what that bias is. I also trust that the opinion is coming from one person. It's not a group of people sitting around a table debating whether or not they should give the game a 6 or a 7. It's someone who spent time playing the game and figured out on their own whether or not they loved it. Feeling like you have a virtual connection with your favorite YouTube reviewer is a priceless feeling. But I do have some beef with these independent reviewers. Things feel like they're quickly becoming a cycle. A creator puts out content, that content is praised, they monetize their channel, and in an effort to keep that influx of cash, they cater specifically to their subscribers. Their videos become a regurgitation of exactly what they think their subscribers want to hear. Now there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to make money, but when these channels become so obsessed with making that money that the quality takes a fucking nosedive, that's where I have a problem. Passion is what makes consistency, and consistency is conducive to trust. The other beef that I have with them has to do a lot with the type of gamer that I am. Now I realize the difference between a hardcore and a casual gamer is sort of nebulous. I've heard things like it lies in the mindset, are you willing to go out and grind and do what it takes to get that gear that you want? Or are you looking to just pay to be good at a game? But I'm not here to debate the difference between the two. But I do want to address the niche group I feel like I'm kind of a part of. Niche may be the wrong word, but I've always had a lot of love for video games. And over the years that love has certainly waxed and waned, but overall has stayed pretty consistent. But it's never grown to the point where video games have become a priority over other things in my life. Don't get me wrong, there are times when I wish I could spend hours, days in front of my PC, my PS4, whatever it is. But the reality is that real life often gets in the way. I can invest maybe 15 hours a week, tops. Now, if you can spend 40 to 50 hours playing, good for you. I am incredibly jealous. But each day my window to play video games grows smaller and smaller. And as that window gets smaller, I've noticed that the qualities that I look for in a game have changed drastically. There are two big questions that I ask myself before I buy any video game. Is it going to be fun? And is it worth the $60 I'm about to drop on it? I know that fun is incredibly hard to quantify, and there are a lot of different factors that contribute to whether or not a game is enjoyable. Is the story good? Are there bugs? How's the multiplayer? What are the graphics like? Etc. But when I jump on YouTube and punch in Anthem review, I want a video that'll let me know in 5 to 10 minutes whether or not this game is going to be worth the money and whether or not I'm going to have fun playing it. Not 6 or 7 videos put out by the same corporate company that all have contradicting opinions. Not a video that gives a specific review because it's trying to cater to a specific audience. And not a video that's 45 minutes long, dissecting every piece of minutia in the video game, the graphics engine, the hype surrounding it. I don't have time for that. I want a video I can trust and will address the two questions that I brought up earlier. Is the game fun, and is it worth the money? This channel is a passion project grown from my own desire to see more brief reviews, uninfluenced, that get straight to the point. I'm new to this. My reviews may not be perfect. I don't have unlimited time or a deep, vast knowledge of the gaming industry, but goddamn do I love video games, and I want to try to use that love to put out quick reviews that are unbiased, addressing those two simple questions I mentioned. Specifically targeting gamers like myself that can only spend 10 to 15 hours a week playing. I feel like people are getting so lost in the current gaming culture that they're really forgetting what it is for a video game to be fun. And here, you're going to get that straight from the tee, baby. So drop a comment, let's have a discussion, and above all, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys.